back to my channel R91 Motors, and this is Ducati 848 2010 Corsa, because this is absolutely amazing bike, but with some tricks which we don't like it on this bike. So did actually Italians make this bike amazing, or it's just like people say it's Ducati, it's for money people, they no good, they break down quickly, they got these problems and their problems? Let me tell you, check this video out and you're gonna see that all the bad problems and the good problems about this bike. So the first thing is not gonna be walk around, but let's read online what they say about these Ducatis. I'm probably gonna make this a little bit longer video to make sure people understand what they're buying, and it's gonna be pluses, it's gonna be minuses, it's gonna be basically everything about this bike and my experience, from the body to the riding positions and everything else. So yeah, let's crack on. Some information we find online. The Ducati 848 is a sports bike with an 849cc engine, 90-degree L twin engine made by Ducati. It was announced on November 6, 2007. For the 2008 model, you're replacing the 749, the 848 and the 1098 are the same design by Giadrea Fabro. I do apologize about this spelling, yeah? So Giadrea Fabro create basically this design. Both use the same frame and the bodywork. That means the 848 and 1098, they exactly the same, the frame wise, because it's exactly the same frame. So the first generation 848 makes a claimed 92 kilowatts, 125 PS and 123 horsepower, 10,000 RPM and 90 Newton meters. So the torque is at 8,240 RPMs with the manufactured claimed dry weight. The dry weight on this bike is 168 kilograms or 370 lb. The 848 is a 5 kilogram lighter than its larger displacement sibling, the 1198. The first generation 848 covered model years 2008, 2009 and 2010. In July 2009, the 848 Hayden, the limited edition, was introduced as the 2010 model as marketing tie-in with the world champion Nicky Hayden. Racing for Ducati starting from 2009 for MotoGP season. And actually, as we know, it was very successful, and that's why this is limited edition 2010. Evo versions they start making a little bit later on, I think probably 2010 as well, or maybe 2011. The details online, I mean, we all got access. There's plenty up there. There's plenty up there about the weight, dry weight, weight, engine cc, horsepower, all this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's 124 horses. It's very similar to actually R6, like 2005, 2006. Anyway, so let's crack on with the body wise about this. Right, about the body, we're gonna walk around right now, and I don't think I have to tell you about this body, because it's probably the best looking bike I ever owned. I mean, there is hundreds of different brands, hundreds of different nice looking bikes, but I just love this one. It looks amazing. It's just stunning motorbike, honestly. Let's get closer. So the front, we start from the front. Nice mudguard as usual, with the double disc brakes on the front, obviously the Brembo. They say the Evo version is a little bit different with the brake system, but to be honest, I don't understand, because this is the Brembo as well. The only thing what the Evo version got is these cylinders, the Brembo brakes, I think a little bit upgraded. The brake wise, awesome bike. Even this is without of ABS. This is such a great beast. It brakes so nice. Headlight fairing and everything else looks just sweet. You got nice holes in here to basically for your air. You got going two pipes inside each side, basically going through the nice fresh air to the engine. The headlights look just stunning. I know the Evo version, again, I think there is a little like daylights inside, if I'm not wrong. This one, for some reason, I can't see nothing. but they still got lenses inside, so it looks awesome. I mean, the front fairing looks really sexy, honestly, like it looks aggressive as well. And we move to these mirrors. It's another story. The mirrors look good. They got the LED indicators in here. They look okay, like pretty good, but honestly, like, right, listen, there's gonna be probably the top 5 bad things about this bike, so let's crack on. Mirrors looks good. How they work, I will explain you later on. So in here we got some limited edition Evo. I don't know, I think that Evo is not correct in here. The side fairing is brilliant. It just looks sexy, like honestly this bike is so cool. So it says some Testastrada Evolution, Testastrada or whatever they call Evolution. So you got nice, this is not the dry clutch, this is still the wet clutch. Tank, I'm not too sure if you see this in a video, is very nicely shaped tank actually, and this is complete tank. You can't take the plastics off or something. This is complete tank. This is all what you see is basically a tank in here. So let's move to the back. I mean, again, no complaints. Nice ventilation in here with the nice softy seats. Proper Ducati with the brand as well. I mean, the rear looks just pretty cool. I mean, it looks for 2010. Come on, this bike looks still stunning. Obviously, as we see, it's not the double fork for the rear wheel. It's just a bike. Just the one on the left, which I like it. I really like it, because to get this wheel off, it's another story to work with this bike. I'm gonna explain in this video. The video will be long, but I'm gonna try to explain as much as I can now. So basically we go check around. It's nicely some protection in here from the exhaust, because exhaust comes in here. It's a little bit carbon fiber piece. You can upgrade your carbon fiber mud guards, basically the bottom plastics. There's so many options online, but they're pricey. So you got nice LED light in here. Actually sits very smooth, very nice. It looks pretty cool. I love it as well. It looks stunning. So yeah, the rear indicators, just the basic indicators, and again we can see the chain sprocket. It's all pretty the same as everybody else, but to adjust this one you will need special tools. They're not too expensive, but you will need it. It's not just gonna be so easy. So again, we move closer in here. Nicely painted. Again, a little bit carbon fiber. That's our gear selector. That's your the clutch stuff. It's got a shower suspension in the middle. To be honest, it's adjustable obviously as well. It's a very comfy bike. From the first, it's not going to be like, yeah, love it. No, it's just a little bit different to another bike. Again, the tank looks amazing. Same fairing this side, and yeah, as I said, the shower forks on the front. I didn't say actually that. So basically the middle and the front forks are shower brand. Really good. Actually, the suspension is pretty cool on this bike. If you compare to CBR 600RR I used to ride, or R6, this is a little bit smoother, like a bit softer suspension, or at least that's what I think. That's my opinion. So let's move to the clutch. So we move to the front. Again, it's a little bit more options than probably most of the bikes. So screen just comes on. Yes, it needs to get the TPS or whatever they call the reset. So that's what you get, SBK 848 TSE. That's the Strada Evolution. So basically it's a SE, like special edition or something like that. You got mileage, the time, you got the temperature, engine temperature, I think. No, that's actually coolant temperature. Also you got air temperature, which is pretty cool. You got RPMs in here. A couple of features like engine light, oil lights, neutral, fuel, high beam and indicators and all this stuff. Also you got mode in here, which you can press. You can check your battery voltage, RPM. You can set your RPMs, lap off, lap on, USB off, and USB erase. I think it's something to do with the track days, or obviously set your time and all this stuff. So a little bit extra than usually, because I didn't see on my CBR or something like that. Then it was 2010 as well. Domino grips, high beams, indicators on, kill switch and start button. Nothing complicated in here. The only one thing is, this is for your front brake, this is for your clutch. The liquid for the clutch is very interesting actually. It goes in here, it presses this long thingy in here, and this is how it releases the clutch, but that's another story. So upgraded levers, I mean, yeah, pretty cool, pretty interesting bike, just body wise. And then for the first time buyer to buy Ducati, I will explain you what to expect from this bike. And to be honest, even if you're planning to sell or you buying it, you have to make sure you know a couple of things about these bikes, and very carefully, like, you know. Now let's crack on, and I'm gonna explain you about them things before you buy this Ducati, what you have to look for it, and to make sure if something is done, something is not done. Obviously it all depends on the price. Now, before you actually buy this, or you want to go and check for one bike, what you have to actually make sure, even it's going to be the struggle for you to sell in future these bikes, because remember they're pretty pricey. You can find some of them from, let's say, 5 to even 9,000-10,000 pounds. So if you got lucky, I sold this one. They're coming today to collect it. It's a very nice bike. It's got 15,000 k on the clock. And again, so let's crack on. Basically, before you buy this bike, you have to make sure the belt's been changed. So basically on this engine Alvin, if you see this case in here, also this case in here, there is 2 belts inside for each cylinder. So basically these belts have to be replaced. They say they have to be replaced every 2 years, or at least 15,000 miles or kilometers. I'm not too sure, but let's say 15,000 and 100% they have to be replaced. And again, if they're not replaced, the cost for you will be straight away, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but it could be about £1,500 or 800 or something like this. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 500. I never did myself. I didn't keep this bike for too long, but I mean, it's going to be pricey anyways. About the prices, maybe I'm lying, but someone who done it, probably they know how much it cost, and I don't think it's cheap, especially on this bike. It's not hard, actually. If you know about little bikes and things like this, I think you can do your own. But again, nobody going to give you a warranty, and you got no proof of replacing belts. So that's number one. Make sure the belt is being replaced. If you buy one and the belts are not replaced, I don't know. I mean, I'm riding it, there is no problem, but it's up to you. I'm just letting you know what actually the Ducati says, what you have to be done on this bike. I mean, if they say they probably have to be done. Second is a well clearance. Some people do on 10,000 miles, some people doing 15 again, 15 as like must. So the well clearance is basically top of your cylinders. When you got camshafts, you got a little, like, I don't know what you call them. Basically, you have to be the clearance, like a correct measurement up there. If not, they start making noise and all this stuff. Again, it's probably not the cheap job. It's not the hardest, but it's not a cheap job. And these 2 things, before you buy this bike, they must be done. At least you got some paper, and the price is gonna hold. You know, the price is not gonna go down on this bike 100%. But again, if you buy with no full service, I mean, it's up to you. You can get yourself in a good trouble, because I've replaced the clutch plates with the metal plates on this one. Again, this is the wet clutch, it's not dry clutch. It cost me about £200 and replacing myself, because you remember you have to get the clutch plates, they have to be correct position and the measurements, also the metal plates, and obviously the gasket have to be bought in the same time, because you're not going to put the old gasket on it. So again, first time buyer, I mean, mostly maybe I think people, they got a little bit of money, they buy these bikes because they are pricey. But again, because they go a little bit cheaper now these days, because remember this is 2010 model and we got 2023, so 13 years old bike. And yeah, the actually prices are going a little bit down, but not so much. So yeah, like if you got the service done, I would suggest you to buy one with the service. Even you are a clever guy about the bikes, and you can get the manuals in a Google search. You can actually get them for free for this, like Ducati manual 848. I did myself, and it's all details up there for free. But again, the parts will cost you money because they're not aftermarket parts. When I start to look for some parts on this bike, I couldn't find any aftermarket. It's not because I want to go cheap, but sometimes you want to save some little money for something, but not on this occasion, because this bike mostly the parts coming from Italy. And about the clutches and everything else, there is now like Japanese bikes, they're on production every single day. That's why they got the price still there, because this is not like in a warehouse they're creating them like millions. No, it's just, let's say, 5,000 bikes go for sale, and they go next generation or next model. So that's why they're still pricey bikes. What else you have to know? Basically, it's all your basic checks. You have to check it. Mileage wise, I can't suggest you. Maybe there is 25,000-30,000 miles, but it's been kept well, like look after it. You know, someone did a service constantly and replacing parts and all this stuff. Make sure there is no leaks or something like this. Engine is pretty loud. I mean, it's 2-cylinder, obviously. We don't talk about the dry clutch, because that's like, it feels like your actually engine gonna blow into pieces. But yeah, engine is loud. So it's actually hard to tell you. If there is a bad bangs, you will definitely know, because this is pretty loud. I will start it up later on anyways. And it starts up again when you go and check these bikes and it starts up pretty rough. I mean, that's not the sign to be worried about, because remember, it's got the L-wing engine, L-shape engine, and plus it's 2-cylinder, and it's pretty strong engine, and you need to get really good battery to start them up. I see them quite a lot online. They struggle to start up actually. Same as this one. It's like go. It takes a little bit of time to actually start up, especially on cold. And next thing, I think that's it, to be honest. You need to get this bike with the full service, or you are ready to spend a little bit of money and do stuff yourself, basically. Yeah, maybe that's the suggestion. But if you got a little bit more money to spend, just spend a little bit more money, because either way you're going to spend some money on these bikes. They have to be serviced every year, basically. Every 2 years the belts have to be replaced if you do correct way. Clearance, all this stuff, and all this costs quite good money, because it's Ducati, you know. Oh, what we got there? Someone is coming. And that's the Ducati. They're actually pretty nice. I like them. Okay, so let's move on. We're gonna finish about this first time buying thing. Again, two things: belt and well clearance. If you got 50,000 miles on the clock, if you got 3,000-4,000 miles, I mean, still you have to check it. You never know. Maybe he's been on the track and all this crap. And yeah, we're gonna finish this story. Now I go about the bad parts about this bike, and then we crack on with the good parts. How is actually riding position and start up, sound this beautiful engine, and basically it sounds like a Ducati. There is no second bike like this sounds like that. Oh, before we go actually to the bad parts of this bike, let me tell you, guys who knows who doing the bikes themselves, changing stuff or upgrading them and stuff like this, guys, you will absolutely love this bike. So let me tell you, I did work roughly about 35 to 45 bikes, kind of different brands, different models, the top class, the super bikes, expensive, cheap ones. It doesn't matter, I work with all of them. And this is, I can tell you straight away now, this is the best bike to work with. To remove the plastic, to remove the tanks, front fairings, access, you got so good access to everything. So remove this boy in here is probably a couple of clips and full screws. To remove this one, what you see, that's what comes off, and it just moves like in 2 minutes. It's so easy. It's so easy. Obviously about this rear wheel as well. Take a clip off, big spanner, and it just come off honestly like 10 minutes maximum. With the cigarette if you're smoking. Yeah, this is the one of the best parts on this bike, to work with this bike. It's so easy build. It's just to remove everything. You don't have to be very clever. It's just basically all in the good places and coming off easy. So yeah, okay, so let's crack on with the bad parts then. Bad parts, I'm not gonna say it's like number 5 or number 10. I'm just gonna let you know what I don't like about this bike, what actually I find myself. So number 1 is these mirrors. I like how they look, because they got LED indicators inside. They look nice and shape, not too much hanging out. They adjustable like this, but I can tell you straight away, when you see the videos, when a lot of people say the mirrors no good, and I'm telling you, they are no good, because you just can't see nothing on them, nothing at all. You have to be very skinny, or I don't know, basically they're crap, but they look good. That's just the one thing. So number 2 probably is going to be the service. Service is very expensive. Yes, I know it's Ducati, but it's nothing like, there is no major thing in here. So as soon as you go in the garage, you got nice looking Ducati. It doesn't matter, you spend all your savings on this bike. I'm just joking. Or whatever, it could happen. Or you sell your car, bought the bike, or whatever reason, they're just gonna rip you off, because they know Ducati does the money. You know, and that's number 2 probably the thing I don't like about this brand and the bike, because they try to rip you off, even to replace the chain. Is simple as I did myself, so it's just same as every single different bike. So replace actually them belts, you got nice easy access. What you need to know is just basically correct adjustments, and again it's easy. Another thing, I got this service light. So basically when you got the service coming up and it comes on the screen, it's not a nice thing for everybody probably. I hate this service. You can't get just the OBD to reset this. I see some online, some Russians or Ukrainians do, they find out with some OBDs, they basically plug and play thing and they reset the whole ECU, but in this occasion not really. I think it called TPS or something like that, the reset. So again, you need to go to the garage. It will probably cost you no less than 50 to 150 pounds. I don't know, I'm just guessing prices, because I never did, as you see, the service still on it. So I never did myself. And I guess that's the price anyways. And yeah, that's another thing is about the service. So you can't get yourself a gadget or OBD or whatever and just reset it, or it's just gonna cost you silly money. So let's move on. I'm just taking from all angles. So another thing, bad thing about this bike is not so bad. This again includes money. Basically, to remove your wheel, as you see, the size of it is like 42mm socket. To remove to actually adjust your chain, so you can get the Allen keys easy, but you need to get a special key, as you see in here. It's like I don't know what you call it. It's like a U. It looks like a shape of U or Y or something like this. Not U. No, don't listen to me. I'm talking rubbish. No. So basically, there is a special tool. You Google it, Amazon, eBay, wherever you're gonna find it. Yeah, that's a little bit silly to actually for the spark plugs and everything else. Like when I do the most of the bikes, the same socket, everything is pretty same, well, similar at least. But this is a little bit different sizes again, like this side in here. It's a different socket, so you have to go a little bit inside. It's not gonna be, from that side you can manage to do something the same one, but yeah, it's not, you have to buy the separate for this one as well. So what else we got in here? I think that's about it, to be honest. All these like bad things, they're not like bad things. They just have to be looked for it, you know. You have to look for it, and yeah. But listen, now we're gonna move on to the good stuff about this bike. So, first thing I have to say, the haters, which I used to be one of them, to be honest. When I was riding my R6 2005 old YSL model, when I see Ducatis, Ducati, they're Italian, they just want crazy money, they're no good for UK weather, it's raining in here, they're no good for rain and all this stuff. Bullshit. I do apologize, but that's completely crap. I used to be one of them guys, but I understand now why I said that, because I couldn't afford one. And now when I got one, I got different mindset on these bikes. Bike is absolutely amazing. It definitely costs this money, 100%. Not just about the looks, I can't tell you. Tell me if the one person will tell me they don't like this bike. I mean, you need to see probably GP and ask them for some chill pill or happy pill, whatever you call it, because this bike body wise, it just looks the best, the beast. I know we got the new generation bikes already. We talk about 2010. I know there's new Ducatis, there is nice Hondas, Yamahas, R1s and all this stuff. They out there. They're nice Aprilias, RS4s, like Kawasaki's H4 or whatever he calls. There is, yeah, cool bikes, but this is 2010. Tell me, show me in 2010 which bike was looking better. No bike looked better than this. In my opinion, I think a lot of people would agree with this. Yeah, the looks, again, I can go every single angle. You tell me what you don't like it and leave your comment below, and we can actually ask Ducati, send them a letter and tell them they did a good job, because there is completely nothing to send them. It's amazing. Come on, what's wrong with you? Oh, another thing, let's say, so the body, we talk about body is just brilliant, no comments. Basically, next, riding position. It's very nice, actually, riding position. This tank and the seat, it just makes you basically, it makes you sit in the same position as a bike is being designed, actually. It's not like my R6, so your tank is basically in your belly and all this stuff. It's still in here, but you got just these leg positions in here in the seat. It's just nice position, honestly. It's very nice position. It's a little bit high bike, but again, you can adjust suspension and rear. The position is pretty cool. I would say my CBR 600RR, it was nice position. It was roundabouts, everything else, it was nice and smooth. Absolutely love it. But I can't tell this is a better. It's probably not the better than the 600RR, but still it handles, honestly, for the weight and everything else it's just brilliant. Riding position is great. Let's on the torque, on the engine, how he rides, how he picks up the gears. Hell, remember, this is I used to ride 600 R6, 650 Kawasaki's, all this stuff, Z700, Z800. I try all them bikes. This one is just a little bit nippy though. I mean, when you want to overtake someone on a second gear, on a third one, probably second anyways, on a second gear, and you like quickly give a rev, like quickly give a go, and the front will come up. This is very nippy bike. He feels like crazy. He's fast. It is like not fastest obviously out there, but for this 848 engine, I think it's 124 horsepower. He's nippy bike. He pulls nice, and speed, honestly, that's another story. Let's talk about the speed. Like 80 miles an hour. And it feels like I'm going 50, honestly. And I start worrying about maybe something is wrong in here. Maybe he reads. Oh, look at this big boy up there. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, where we are. So he reads the mileage, like let's say you go 80 miles an hour, it feels like you go 50. And I will start thinking, what's wrong? Is it something wrong with this? Is it reading not correctly or something? And then I was going, what would take everybody out, obviously, but like, you know, with such a speeds like 100 miles an hour, and like, it doesn't feel like, if you go 100, it feels like you go 70. When I was on my 600, I was going like 100, it feels like you go 100 miles an hour. So I started to measure it basically with the phone, with the cars, and basically he's definitely got correct speed, but he just doesn't feel this speed. I don't know how they made this happen. Maybe it's position, maybe something else, but you just don't feel the speed on this one. You can see on the cluster, obviously it says the speed, but like I mean, if you go 50, it feels like it's not moving. So they did smash it with that one, honestly. Like, if I'm just on my own, this guys who owns Ducati, if you find this video, comment below if you feel the same. You just don't feel speed on this bike. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, next. It's basically all. Bike is great. It's definitely worth the money. I mentioned it, the looks, the engine, the sound. Oh, wow. One of the goodies. Let's basically start this bike up, and then you gonna understand what I'm actually talking about. When I say it's Ducati sound, it's Ducati sound. There is no second sound like this. So let's start it up. So let's start it up and see what the sound like. Again, you're gonna see probably my hard start. So kill switch is on. That's not bad, to be honest. Listen to this sound in there. Absolutely fine. About the headlights are okay. Actually, on the daytime they look yellowish like old school ones, but when you're on the nighttime they're pretty like bright. So the lights are good, and let me show you the indicators as well. So that's how the indicators works in here. So yeah, it sounds just amazing, and you know, it's definitely, guys, I don't know, hopefully I said enough. So absolutely beautiful bike. It's just a legend. I mean, when you got one of these boys in your garage, you feel happy for some reason, you know. And yeah, it goes beautiful. It just rides amazing. He's got his own sound, the music, I would say. This is just the Ducati sound. There is no second sound like this, and pulls really nice, smooth on the roundabouts. Brakes, Brembo brakes. I mean, brakes, this is again, it's not ABS model. Brakes are just a proper nice, same time sharp, but the smooth sharp, if you know what I mean. Very smooth, very nice brakes. And yeah, I think I got this video down. I think I said enough. Probably there is always something you can say more, but yeah, I'm gonna cut this video down. I mean, if I suggest you to buy the Ducati, go and buy one. Just go and buy one, and don't listen to what people say when it's no good for rain, when it's no good for this weather, when they break down quickly. I mean, all superbikes got their own tricks and issues, you know, like same as this one with the belts and valve clearances. You know, everybody got some issue, but listen, this is 15,000 miles on the clock, and it's got no issues at all. It starts up, it goes like a hell, looks stunning. There's just, you know, happy days on this bike though. So go and get one. Video down. Basically, I got more bikes coming up. There is a KTM inside as well. I think I'm gonna buy another 2 bikes. I like them. Just subscribe and smash that like button, guys. You know, slowly my channel goes up. I got nearly 2,000 subscribers. When I'm gonna reach 5,000 subscribers, my plan is basically to boost a little bit channel. I will start giving you some goodies out, I promise. I will start to buy some GoPros and helmets and things like this. Everybody doing the channel. I'm just honest guy, you know, my videos are probably not the best like videos ever, or best explained, but I try to do my best to show people. I got so many videos which you can't find in YouTube, and I got them on my channel only. And you know, I got good comments. People still looking on my channel, so that's good. So subscribe and smash that like button. Check my Instagram page. I got pretty cool videos out there as well, and the photos about every bike I do. Obviously this Duca is going to be there as well. And yeah, have a good day and see you next videos.